get ready, sit down, relax, because I have rounded up a list of what I think are absolutely the best foundations that are sold at Sephora. In no particular order of number 1 through 13, these are all fantastic formulas to check out. And if you caught my I purchased every foundation that's sold at Sephora video, where I tested, I think, 59 foundations in one video. It's a long video. In case you missed it, or in case you're new to my channel, I'll have it linked in the description box so you could check it out. Consider this more of like a follow-up to that video. So if you caught that video, if you sat through the whole thing, I'm sending you a big, big air hug for doing so. And this is going to be a roundup of what I think are the best of the best sold at Sephora. Let's get right into it. Okay, now I thought I would start this list with actually the least expensive out of the 13 that I'm going to share with you. It's not the least expensive at Sephora by any means, but in this group, for $43, the Dior Backstage Face and Body has been one of my top foundations for, the last I want to say 5 years in my Pro Kit. I started out by using this in my Pro Kit exclusively. Like I never used it on myself. I had it in my Pro Kit. I fell so in love with it that I was like, I gotta get one for myself. The rest is history. It's one of my top foundations in life. Okay, and that says a lot. I've tried, as you know, at this point, every single foundation that's at Sephora, but also I've tried every other foundation I could imagine sold anywhere. But when I think about this foundation, and this is a big statement that I'm about to put out there, okay, but I think this is one of the most, if not the most universal foundations in terms of everything. Universally flattering, universally good for all skin types, all skin ages, all skin textures, whatever you're looking for as far as the foundation goes. I think this is the most universally pleasing out of all of them. And it's just, on top of it, extremely easy to work with. It's extremely easy to build up. One swipe of it initially is very light, very natural. You could build it up to be a full coverage, all while feeling very lightweight and very thin. It has a very liquidy, very lightweight texture to it, which I love, especially in my Pro Kit. The beauty of this foundation also is not only is it super fresh looking on your skin, it's super skin-like, which you'll see there's a theme for all these foundations I'm going to share with you all. All of them have a common theme and a common denominator, and that is they all have a skin-like finish. That's what I look for personally when I'm looking for foundations or when I'm putting foundations in my Pro Kit. I want them to look like your skin, but better. I don't want them to look makeup-y. I don't want them to look like you have a heavy amount of foundation and coverage on your skin. I want it to look like you just have this perfect skin and with like a touch of foundation on. I want it to be your skin, but better. This truly is a second skin type foundation. And another bonus that adds to the fact that this had to be mentioned in this video is the fact that it is water resistant, it's sweat resistant, it's humidity resistant. It does not oxidize, it does not transfer. It is amazing for the body, for the chest. I've put it down my clients' chest, down their necks, on their hands, you name it. This really does go on anywhere, hence the name. It's Backstage Face and Body. And to wrap up why I like this foundation so much, it's really easy to match people in my kit. It's really easy to customize the shades, to mix them together. It works well with all the skin prep that I've ever tried in my life, pretty much. It works well with any type of skin. Like I said, oily, dry, combo, young, mature. It doesn't matter. This foundation will work and will look beautiful. I also love the fact that it's in a squeezy tube. It's plastic. It's really convenient for travel. It never explodes. It doesn't leak. It doesn't break. All those things you don't want it to do, it will not do. Another important factor and why I have it in my Pro Kit is it photographs beautifully and it looks gorgeous in like high intensity flash, on camera, in video, like all those things. It just checks all the boxes. So the Dior Backstage Face and Body, if you're going to pick up a foundation and you just are unsure of like what to get, what's going to work for you, this is always one that I recommend because it just works for anyone. Keeping it in Dior, because believe it or not, we have quite a few Dior foundations in this list. And I say we for some reason, but okay, the next foundation that I think is top tier and one of the best formulas sold at Sephora or just in general is the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. Probably not a surprise. There are so many reasons why I love this foundation, but again, one of the most common reasons why I love these foundations I'm about to share with you is the fact that they have a skin-like finish. This has quite the skin-like finish. This will literally look like your skin, but better. It feels lightweight. It's a medium to buildable coverage. The shade range is huge. Like I'm talking gigantic shade range. There's something for everyone with the Haus Labs foundation, and not to mention this works for all skin types. Oily, dry, combo, mature, young, it doesn't matter. You can all wear the House Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. This does have a lot of skincare ingredients in it. It's actually packed with skincare ingredients. But, you know, that's kind of across the board with a lot of the foundations I'm going to share, including that Backstage Face and Body from Dior. This also has tons of skincare ingredients in it. So don't let that woo you. That's a great thing, but that's very common amongst newer foundations on the market now. They're all infused with skincare ingredients. The one that stands out to me the most about this one, though, is it does contain arnica. Now, arnica is meant to calm your skin, reduce like inflammation in your skin. So if you have a lot of redness, if your skin's more inflamed, maybe a little bit more sensitive, more irritated, the arnica in this is going to help to calm redness and just overall calm your skin. Also while providing beautiful coverage that looks like your skin, but better. The wear time is great. However, I do suggest if you have oily skin, you powder this down and lock it into place so it really wears a long time throughout the day. If you have more dry skin, minimal powder is all you need to set this and lock it into place. But this is a show-stopping foundation. I've talked about this many, many times, so it's probably not a surprise that this is in my list, but this is a gorgeous, very skin-like, very buildable in coverage foundation that also bonus photographs very well. And did I mention this is $45? Not bad. Jumping back to Dior. Now Dior, they don't miss with their foundations. They really don't. I know it's a big statement. It's a very big, bold statement, but I've tried all the foundations from Dior, including the discontinued, very sad Air Flash from Dior. It was like in an aerosol spray can. It was like an airbrush makeup in a can, but better, way better. I'm not a fan of airbrush makeup. That's a whole side note for another time. But that airbrush, Air Flash, whatever you called it, Dior foundation was unbelievable. I don't know why they discontinued it. It's very, very sad. But all that to say, Dior never misses with their foundations. This is one of the most beautiful glowy foundations on the market. And that's a big statement because there's so many that claim to be glowy and all these things. Well, this one is not only glowy, but this gives some visible plumpness and hydration to your skin. Like you will literally feel this on your skin. You'll put it on your skin and it'll feel like you put a hydrating serum or a good moisturizer on your skin. It feels so hydrating on. It just gives such an instant plumped, hydrated look to your skin. It gives that glass skin kind of effect, like which was a really huge trend several years ago. Everyone wanted like that glass skin, that very glossy glass skin finish to their complexion. This gives that all while giving long wear. So it gives glowy, hydration, perfect skin, very skin-like too. It doesn't look heavy while doing that all day long. So it's long wearing, which a lot of glowy foundations, especially ones that are like marketed as like, you know, super glowy, luminous, all that stuff, sometimes they just don't last. And that's just the reality of glowy foundations. This one, if you want your skin to look glowy and feel hydrated all day, so if you have dry skin, dry mature skin, dry young skin, whatever the case, if you have dry skin and you want your foundation to look glowy and last all day, you have to check this one out. This is top tier for a glowy long wear foundation. It's buildable initially going on. I think it's more of like a light to medium coverage when you initially put it on. You can absolutely build it up to be a full coverage. It is just a gorgeous foundation that stays put while offering a gorgeous glow. I cannot speak highly enough of this Dior Forever Glow. Now, speaking of glow, but also long wearing, also beautifully skin-like, and also just an old school favorite that's been around for years and just never disappoints. I'm talking the classic NARS Sheer Glow Foundation. This really looks like your skin, but so much better. It feels incredibly lightweight while offering beautiful, very buildable coverage. My only complaint about this foundation, I've talked about this several times, is the fact that it does not come with a pump. I cannot stand the pour out method, especially if you're buying a higher end foundation. Give us a pump. Make our lives easier. Yes, they sell them separately, but that's beside the point in my opinion. Like they should just come with it. Just give us a pump. Like everyone else does it, give us a pump. So that's my biggest complaint. The other complaint that I have just with NARS foundations across the board is their undertones run heavily on the warm golden undertone side. So if you have more of a cool, like a true cool undertone or like a true neutral, you might be hard pressed to find the exact undertone that you need. For that reason, I almost didn't put NARS in this video. However, I put it in because the thing about this foundation is it's so beautiful when you put it on. It's so undeniably stunning and long wearing and photographs beautifully and lasts all day and all these things and looks smooth on your skin. I had to put it in for those reasons. I just had to. Now the price point for this one is $47. This also has vitamin C in it. And again, like I mentioned earlier, most foundations on the market these days, if it's a good foundation, they're going to have some form of skincare ingredients in them. This has vitamin C, so when you do wear it on a regular basis, continuously over time, there is some added subtle benefit of it will help to even out your skin and your complexion, because that's what vitamin C does. But either way, it's a fantastic foundation. It's one I've used for years and years in my pro kit, and it is a holy grail foundation. Now, speaking of NARS has beautiful, beautiful formulations. One of the other ones that I love and I almost put in this list is the light reflecting foundation from NARS, but here's why I didn't. Although I love that foundation, I think it looks so gorgeous. It's just not as long wearing as I would want it to be. And to make it into this list is very cutthroat. You have to be long wearing. You have to stay put really well. And you have to look just as beautiful as you did initially, the first thing in the morning, as 10 o'clock at night. That's just my opinion. For that reason, I did include this one. This is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. This one is actually $52, so it's a little bit pricier than the Sheer Glow. However, this is fantastic if you, let's say you work really long hours and you want your skin to look absolutely pristine and flawless. You want it to be a full coverage, long wear, but it doesn't have a dull matte finish. This has a beautiful, slightly more luminous satin finish. Incredibly gorgeous on the skin, has a very beautiful blurring effect. So if you have texture, if you have larger pores, if you have oily skin, I think this is a fantastic formula to check out. But either way, it doesn't matter your skin type. This is a very universally pleasing formula. This will work well for dry skin. This will work well for mature, young, you name it. Just prep your skin according to your skin type. But the fact that this is such a gorgeous all-day wear foundation that photographs so beautifully, I just had to include in this list. This is also really a great foundation if you have like a special occasion coming up, if you're a future bride, if you're going to be a bridesmaid, if you're going to be doing something all day long, you need your makeup to stay put and look pristine. This is definitely one to check out. Absolutely a must try if you want a long wear, flawless finish that doesn't look dull and too matte and lifeless on your skin. Have to check this one out. Okay, now when I think of the best of foundations, just across the board, and what is sold at Sephora, I think always Armani Luminous Silk. And this is probably no surprise. You knew this was going to be in this list. It had to be, right? This is my number one foundation, okay? That says a lot. It's a big, bold statement. But in terms of like a foundation that I cannot live without, this, and like I mentioned, the Dior Backstage Face and Body are it. This foundation is one of the most beautiful foundations you'll ever put on your skin. It just is. Not only that, it's shockingly long wearing. And I know this for a fact because I've used this in my pro kit for a gazillion years at this point. Like literally a million years I've used this in my pro kit. I cannot live without. It's one of the first foundations I will restock when I'm running low. I keep so many shades packed in my kit. It is super easy to color match. The undertones are a broad range, which is great. So if you're cool, neutral, warm, olive, there's going to be a shade for you in the Armani Luminous Silk. Now, the other thing I love about this too is it gives a beautiful glow to your skin without looking too greasy. Like it doesn't end up looking greasy throughout the day. It just continuously stays glowy and just soft and ethereal on your skin. It's buildable, which is also great. I've also shared this formula out before to make it look more like a tinted moisturizer. You can play with it so many different ways. But ultimately, I think the biggest takeaway for me with this foundation is the fact that it really does look like your skin, but better. It gives coverage that's buildable, that lasts all day long, that photographs unbelievably well. Like I've used this for years on my celebrity clients and no complaints. Looks stunning and flawless on everyone. Has a beautiful airbrush quality to it that really just looks like your skin, but better. I mean, it's really the best way I can describe this foundation. To me, top tier at Sephora. Absolutely top tier in general, but top tier in terms of what you could buy at Sephora. This is it. This is worth every single penny. The full size is $69. It is not cheap. And to wrap this one up, this really is, when I think about this foundation, what really makes it so magical. This really is the most skin-like finish out of all the foundations I'm showing you in this video. This really is the most and gives the most skin-like finish, period. I mean, it just looks so flawless on, but just doesn't look makeup-y. That's like the biggest takeaway in my opinion, is it looks like your skin. It doesn't look like makeup. You'll get compliments on your skin and not your makeup when you're wearing this. So Armani Luminous Silk, top tier, must check out. Next on this list is a newer favorite. I tried this just recently. I had been missing out for years apparently. So many people had told me, and so many colleagues had told me to try this foundation. The Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. It is a show-stopping foundation. This gives the most light, airy look to your skin. It feels literally like water on your skin. It is so lightweight. It almost feels like nothing on, to be quite honest. Not that these foundations, the rest of them I showed you, are heavy. This just has an exceptionally lightweight feeling to it. Very buildable coverage, very customizable coverage, which I think is ideal. This gives a beautiful, soft focus effect to your skin. Great if you have any kind of skin texture or any larger pores, like I said, that you want to give a soft focus, subtle blur effect to. This is a beautiful foundation to check out. Absolutely worth every penny. It's the same price as the Armani. It's $69. Another note too, this is also good for any type of skin. In my opinion, this is going to work for oily skin, combination skin, dry skin, mature, young, it doesn't matter. This is a beautiful, beautiful foundation that anyone can use. Now, speaking of new favorites, the Guerlain Terracotta Foundation has become a holy grail for me. I tried it for the first time when I did the big Sephora, bought every foundation that is sold there and tested them all out. This one was just, oh my gosh, this so quickly was added to my daily makeup routine and sat in like the pile of daily makeup products that I grab the most, that I want to wear the most. When I tell you this is like feather lightweight, this is feather lightweight. It's like putting nothing on your skin. It's shocking though, because the amount of coverage that you end up getting from this foundation is it's so sneaky. So when you put it on, when you first put it on, it feels so feathery and so lightweight that when you initially put on, you feel like you need to add more and more to get coverage. And then the coverage sneaks up on you. It's a crazy thing. So what I realized what was happening is the fact that this is a liquid to powder formula. So meaning if you are someone who has, let's just say in theory, like really dry skin, and you want to wear a foundation that's going to last all day, feel really lightweight, but you don't want to have to set it and lock it into place so it doesn't move throughout the day, this is absolutely one to check out. This has a really unique formula. It also has some kind of like special ingredient like gem tone, or I believe it's called gem tone. So gem tone is like a shimmer. And the shimmer is like color and shade adjusting. So it's a very flexible formula in terms of like the shade range. So it's kind of like put on a tinted moisturizer, right? Like they're more forgiving in that way because they're more sheer and they're just more forgiving. Like they will cover a more broad range of people's skin tones because they're not such a fully pigmented product. This works in a similar way where that shimmer in it kind of color adjusts and adapts to different skin tones. And, you know, it's kind of like adjustable in that way. All that to say, it is a very gorgeous, lightweight, soft focus to the max. Like it's almost like you put this on and it's like you swiped right on Instagram. If you know, you know. Like if you're doing stories and you swipe right to the Paris filter, gives this more brightened and smooth effect to your skin. This is like the equivalent of that in a foundation. It sounds dramatic until you try it. I'm actually surprised that this is $63 and not like $100 or like 80 something or just more expensive. I'm surprised this is less expensive than a few other of the foundations I've just mentioned because it is so unique and it is such a luxurious product. It does have some fragrance to it, just a forewarning, as do a lot of these more higher end luxury brand foundations like the Dior's and the Armani's. They're all going to contain some form of fragrance. So if you are sensitive, that's just a forewarning. But this really is feather lightweight. You won't feel a thing on your skin, all while delivering beautiful, soft focus coverage. Absolutely top tier at Sephora. Now, speaking of top tier at Sephora, the last one I'm going to mention from Dior is a classic formula. This is the Dior Forever Foundation. This is a up to 24-hour wear foundation. That's right. You heard me right. It literally says in the back, 24-hour wear foundation. It's transfer proof. It is extremely long wearing, as it says. 24 hours, a huge claim. This will stay put on your skin. It does not oxidize, which I think is a really huge thing as well. A lot of long wear matte transfer proof foundations tend to oxidize on your skin. They tend to, like, as they dry down, the color tends to change. It could darken as you're wearing it throughout the day. This does not do that. This looks fresh and smooth and flawless all day long. So if you live in a super humid climate, let's just say, and you want something that's going to stay put while looking still fresh and not heavy and not like you have like pancake makeup on. If any of those things speak to you, you have to try this foundation. You really do. You will love it so much, I promise you. This one is $57. It's not even that much when, you know, comparably speaking to the other foundations. And I will say this probably is one of the best, if not the best, full coverage long wear foundations. It really is, because it's long wearing while still looking fresh and breathable and not too heavy on your skin, while not feeling heavy on your skin. And it stays put while looking gorgeous all day long. So this really is a show-stopping foundation. A bonus I think is worth calling out is if you have oily skin, this really is amazing for oil control. You won't find that you have to blot your skin heavily throughout the day if you have really oily skin, like true oily skin. This will stay put and you won't have to touch up nearly as much. It really is great for oil control. So if you have oily skin, definitely check this one out. This is, again, all these are top tier. Now, speaking of all day wear, also suitable for oily skin, also amazing for oil control, and also 24-hour wear, Armani Power Fabric. Forget about it. It is such a gorgeous foundation. It's basically the matte, super long wearing version of the Armani Luminous Silk. This is a beautiful, very weightless, very lightweight, very buildable coverage. It's a medium coverage initially. You can absolutely build this up to be a true full coverage if you want. This has an amazing way of smoothing your skin. So if you have texture, fine lines, visible pores on your skin, and you want to smooth your skin while looking flawless and having an all-day wear, the Armani Power Fabric, you absolutely should check out. I highly recommend this one. This is only $1 more than the Armani Luminous Silk, which is kind of an odd price point. It's $70, well worth every single penny. And I know I said this is great for oil control. However, I do think that any skin type can use this. So if you have dry, mature skin, if you just have dry skin, combo skin, it doesn't matter. I think this is absolutely a universally flattering foundation and it will work for any skin type. Just, of course, make sure you're prepping your skin according to your skin type, and then you can definitely check this out. This is just top tier. Now, last on my list of extreme wear foundations. You know, I don't wear this foundation often. I don't use it that often. However, I'm very, very familiar with this foundation. I was reintroduced to it when I did my whole foundation haul. So the Estee Lauder Double Wear, it has to be in this list. It just has to. Now, this is an OG. This is like an OG formula that is tried and true and has withstood the test of time. People still use this foundation. They still love it. And I can fully see why. When I got this again, I hadn't used it in years, like years and years. And when I had it again in my possession, I quickly started using it again and I fell in love with the formula. And it was a great reminder of why this is so popular and why it's been awarded so many times. So, you know, this is kind of like the gold standard for full coverage, beautiful satin finish that wears all day long, that is great for all the elements. So high humidity, it's water resistant, it's transfer resistant, all those things that you'd want, right, for a long wear foundation. It is great if you need your makeup to just stay put. To just stay put, to look flawless, and to just give you all the things you want while looking still fresh, not super heavy on the skin. This has a beautiful smoothing effect to it as well, and it just stays put. It is an OG for a reason. It's a classic for a reason. It had to be mentioned on this list because when I think of like all day wear foundations that are full coverage, this is truly top tier. Okay, we have 2 foundations left on this list of what I think are the best foundations sold at Sephora. These are truly the best of the best. I know this is just my humble opinion, but I'm a makeup artist for 16 years. I've worked with every single skin type and every single skin age and texture that is out there. And I know what works and I know what doesn't work. And I know what's worth the money and I know what's not worth the money. Now, the last one I'm going to save for last. I'm not saying it's the best. I'm not saying any of those things, but there's a whole other speech that's going to go along with this last one. So before then, probably no surprise, this was a standout for me out of all the 59 foundations that I tested and tried that are sold at Sephora. This one shocked me. It still shocks me. I still am grabbing it on a weekly basis to put on my skin. Every time I do, I love it. I love the way it feels. I love the way it blends on. I love the way it looks. It's the foundation that I have on my face right now. I've been wearing it since the crack of dawn, filming content and working, and it stays put so well. So well. This is the KVD Serum Foundation. Now, this is only $42, and I say only, I know it's not cheap, but most of the foundations that are higher end are going to be at least $40 and above. That's just the reality. This one is special because, in my opinion, this is the most full coverage foundation that you can get while still achieving a natural look to your skin. So it's so unique in that way where it's full on coverage. It is fully pigmented. A tiny bit goes a very long way. This also works well for all skin types, in my opinion. I don't think there's a single skin type that this will not work well for. This looks beautiful on. It doesn't look heavy. It also doesn't feel heavy, which is another huge thing. Just because you want full coverage doesn't mean you want to feel like you have a full coverage on your face. Like, that's not comfortable for anyone. I have it on right now. It feels light. It feels super breathable. It feels very comfortable. I have more oily combo skin. The finish of this gets slightly shiny throughout the day. Nothing a little bit of powder won't help and knock out. But the reason why this is in this list, like I mentioned, is because this is the most beautiful full coverage while still looking really fresh and skin-like. So they achieved a lot with this foundation. I think it's really an absolute hit for them. I don't think any of their other foundations are as beautiful as this one. Obviously, if they were, they'd be in this list. This is just really a standout foundation to me, and I'm always continuously surprised every time I put this foundation on how beautiful it really is on. All while looking fresh and not too heavy, all while delivering a beautiful, long-lasting full coverage. So KVD Serum Foundation, only $42, which is not so bad, and a little bit goes a long way, and definitely worth checking out, and definitely amongst the best that are sold at Sephora. Okay, now this last one was a little difficult. And the reason why I say it was difficult is because of the price point. You might not be surprised. And also, full disclosure, I've been working on this video for several weeks. I've been testing out the foundations. I've been gathering all my thoughts as to why they're going to be in this video. And I'm going to be really honest with you. I took this out and put it back in several times, but the only reason why I took it out was because the price point is obnoxious. Like, absolutely obnoxious, in my opinion. There's no reason why foundation should be $150, but this one is. It's $150. It's from La Mer. It's a very, very bougie, high-end brand. We all know it. We all know how much their skincare is and their creams are. It's an extremely expensive luxury brand. So the only reason why I took this one out so many times is because I really do find the price point to be unsettling and obnoxious. $150. Let's put the price aside now, okay? Let's take away that bias and just talk purely about the formula. So when I did my huge foundation haul, I actually picked up 3 of these foundations, and which was a bold move, okay? I was feeling a little frisky. I was kind of feeling like, you know what? Might as well get 3 different shades, test them out. If I like them, I'm going to put them in my makeup kit. I put all 3 of the shades I picked up in my makeup kit, and I'm planning on picking up more shades. Because wow, it looks beautiful. I don't use this on myself. I'm going to be really honest. I have for many tutorials to test out. I use this on my clients in my pro kit, and not every client, but quite a few of my clients have grown to be obsessed with this foundation because I've used it on them, and they rave about the way their skin looks. Every time I put it on them, they're like, would you use on me? Because this is newer to my kit. So when I put it on these clients that I have on a regular basis, and they're used to seeing a few other formulas like my Armani or my Dior on them, when I put this on them, not that this is better. I'm not saying this is better. It's different. It's just different. But I think the thing they notice the most is the fact that it just feels kind of like nothing on their skin. This is an extremely feather lightweight formula that's very buildable. It can look really sheer and light and natural, or you could build it up to be a full-on, I'd say medium plus coverage is the amount that you're going to get out of this one. I'm sure you could build up to a full. I just haven't done that yet. But the way this feels on your skin is, it feels like $150 on your skin. I will just say that. I hate to say it, but I will just say that. It is an absolutely gorgeous foundation if you are just wanting to properly treat yourself. Like, you know, let's just say you've tried all the foundations, you just want to try like something extra bougie and that feels really special and luxurious, and you don't care about spending $150 on something that goes on your face, then check it out. If the price point is obnoxious to you as well, then just skip through this last one, because you know what? You don't need it. The rest of these foundations are so stunning. They're so gorgeous. that you don't need to spend $150. And that's why I was taking it out and putting it back in. Now, a couple more things I want to point out about the formula specifically is it has a very soft focus effect to it. It's very lightweight and it really helps to soften the look of texture and fine lines and anything like that on your skin. It really does give a beautiful airbrush type quality to your skin, all while delivering like a smoothness and just a lightweight feeling that just doesn't feel like you have foundation on. This is a medium coverage like I mentioned, but you can also customize it. You can make it a little bit more lightweight. You can just add a dollop of it, like a little tiny bit, blend it out and make it look super lightweight, super light coverage, or you can build it up to be a medium plus coverage like I mentioned. This is suitable for all skin types, oily, dry, combo, mature, young. Anyone is gonna love it. It's gonna work well on anyone's skin type or skin age. It has a beautiful silky feeling to it, like a silky quality to it. I love it. I really do. I love it. I hate the price point. I absolutely despise the price of this foundation. However, it sucked me in. I didn't expect it. It happened. And that's that. This had to make the list. This just had to be included in the top tier best of the best foundations that are sold at Sephora. Now this one is online only, just a little forewarning. You won't be able to find this in store. So you're gonna have to check it out online and color match according online. But it is a beautiful show-stopping foundation for sure. If you want to spend the money and you're open to the price point, it's definitely worth checking out. So that wraps up this video. These are my top 13 of what I think are the best foundations that are sold at Sephora. These are the top-notch, top quality, top ones to check out and to spend your money on. These are the ones that are actually worth the investment, in my opinion. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what your favorite formula is that you've ever tried that's sold at Sephora or just in general. These are my selections. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know if any of these are your favorites and if you think that these are the best of the best as well. I hope you found this video helpful, especially if you are someone who's trying to find a new formula and foundation and just don't know where to start because there's so many out there, as you saw in my previous video where I tested all 59 or 60, however many it was. I hope you found this video helpful when you're choosing a new foundation, and hopefully it saves you some time, some anguish, and some money. So leave me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. If you like videos like this, you can check more out right here. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love to have you and see you more often. Subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.